Here we go. Once again, welcome back to Live Inside the Booth. I'm your host, Marlon Lowe. Got another good show for you today. We're gonna be talking about we're gonna be talking about the spring preview today that was given by Basketball University, University Sports, U Sports, this past weekend in Houston, Texas. That was sponsored by basically Rossi Karen and his Basketball University group played in it. But obviously it was sponsored overall by University Sports. So shout out to them. There was a lot of good teams in there from the 17s on down. Got a chance to see some teams that we've seen before and some teams that were not talked about previously. Today we have Marcus Sloan. Once again, he's becoming one of the premier guys in Houston that's kind of at all the events, who has been having an opportunity to be able to make himself available to come inside the booth frequently and discuss what's going on. We're going to bring Marcus in, but again, as always, if you're looking, look down, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit share if you can, so you can let some friends and family know, look, they live. We're inside the booth right now. Come on in, discuss some sports and basketball with us. Give us some feedback and things of that nature. And obviously, you can interact with us on that YouTube channel right there in the comment section. We can see what you're talking about. We can go back and forth. Give us a thumbs up at some point in time. Matter of fact, give us a thumbs up right now. If you're watching it now or you're watching it later on, or you're going to be rewinding it back and forth and sending it to a friend. Give us a thumbs up so that we can continue to expand and broaden the base and let other people know that we're available. And then we're talking about basketball. We're talking about Texas basketball. We're talking about Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, the Centex. And eventually, as we continue to go, we're going to be talking about basketball across the country. So let's start picking that brand up now and helping to share that with a lot of people. So let's get in with our guest, Marcus Sloan. And let's talk about the basketball spring preview from this past weekend in Houston, Texas. Sloan, what's happening?
What's going on?
Not much. Everything's good, man. Listen, I want to tell you this. I'm going to continue to reach out to different guys in the city, media guys in the city, and kind of see if they have some time to make themselves available to kind of just talk about basketball as well. One thing I appreciate is that you make yourself available. You've got time during the day, and you use this as an opportunity to continue to expand your brand as well, to be able to let people know who you are, what's going on in that. You know what you're talking about, So I'm going to sit back and say, so if anybody's watching this, don't think I haven't reached out at some point in time where I have favorites. I try to give everybody an opportunity to come on, because it's always good to hear various opinions and things of that nature. But you're one of the guys that really make yourself available. So that's a good thing right there. Let's talk about this spring preview, man, from this past weekend that was given up by University Sports here in Houston, which showcased pretty much all of the Basketball University teams.
Yep.
And was given by Rossi Karen, sponsored by Rossi Karen, and also, his good friend Teddy Wheeler. But basically overall it was by University Sports. So do you want to start? You want to talk about some young guys? You want to talk about old guys? Tell us where you want to start off with this.
Well, we'll start out with kind of going by games, the games I saw, and then we'll kind of get into some of the players I saw. The first game I got a chance to watch was this Houston Defenders 15s versus the Cool Elite 15s. And, we talked last time about freshmen. And, again, man, you're a guy you've had a chance to develop and work with. Cam Crockett is doing really big things so far this spring, man. His motor is definitely on. In this game, he had 17-11, was all over the court blocking shots. And it's funny, man, kind of seeing kids blossom right before your eyes, and especially seeing from where they've come from. And, obviously I've had a chance to coach and see Cam and him play, in my fall leagues when you guys weren't playing, and just seeing the talent that he had and waiting for that light to kind of come on and for it to click. And now it's finally clicking, man. And he's playing lights out for that Defenders 15U group. They beat Cool's Elite in this game, 58-30.
Smackdown of that one.
Yeah. That 15 Defenders team is pretty good, man. My power rankings come out on Thursday. I can't reveal who's number one, but they're definitely close to the top. The other kid, man, their new import, this kid Keith, Zane Udine, goes to Texas Christian, man. He had 21 rebounds in this game. but with 6 blocks. So he's another kid, man, who's kind of opening my eyes right now. Plays really hard, about 6'6", really athletic kid.
Huh.
Yep.
And who won that game?
The defenders beat Coos 58-30 that game.
58-30. Coos won by 28 points. Anybody, was any guys stand out for Coos Elite on that day during that game? I know it's kind of tough when you get.
It was tough that game just because it was a runaway early, and PJ Coos now with that Coos group, man, he's building the young teams, kind of building them up. People primarily talk about that 17U group, but he's done a great job this year with kind of starting at ages, I think 10U and going all the way up, trying to build this program up, build his kids up. So this is one of the groups. This is their first year together. Kind of hadn't practiced that much, but they'll be okay. And then the second game I saw was kind of early, was a big-time game, man. Team Harden 16U. Well, 2 games. Team Harden 16U versus Basketball U 16U. 2 Adidas rivals. They got the young fella Bryce Griggs from Hightower. He did his thing, man. He had 32 in this game, kind of control the court. But Harden, they have a kid from Louisiana named his full name is Zytavius.
Zytavius.
From Louisiana. His name is Zytavius. Make sure I say his last name correctly. His name is Zytavius Ivory. His nickname, so to shorten it, they call him Zy, but Zytavius Ivory, who's a sophomore from Louisiana, and the kid Sean Jones at Shadow Creek are 2 about 6'4" wings, super athletic. And when they get out of transition, it's a highlight reel. In this game versus Basketball U, Sean Jones caught one off the rim that was super nasty, and he got one on the break and took off. So it was a close game, back and forth game. BU had 2 kids that played really well, Braden Edison from Seco Ranch and Shane Bell. They both kind of paced that BU team, and they actually scored 17 points out of the 21 second-half points that BU scored. Those 2 kids combined for 17 of those. So
what's their names again?
Shane Bell and Braden Edison.
Okay. You know what schools they go to?
Yeah, Braden goes to Cinco Ranch and Shane goes to Elkins.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So they paced them that, and what was it wound up being the final score in that game?
Final score, Harden won 60-48.
60-48. So that's 12 points. Was it? What was the difference in the game? Was it like up and down game? Was it?
It was an up and down game, and then the kid at the end, man, Sean Jones and the kid from Summer Creek, Javon Jackson, a sophomore, they kind of took over the second half. Javon scored 12 points in that second half, knocked down 2 threes. Also, Sean scored 12 points, like I said, with a couple of those dunks. He's super, super athletic, really good on offensive boards.
Huh. All right. I didn't get a chance to watch a whole lot of the young guys went on Saturday. Was it Saturday? I was up there quite a bit on Saturday. It's the early part of the afternoon and mainly all day on Saturday, all day on Sunday. But with it being 6 courts at the MI3 was a great spot for it to be at, man. I was moving back and forth all around. Well, I did get a chance to see Doug Jones up there on Sunday, so I know Doug had a chance to see some guys as well. So who else you got? Tell us some other. That was 16 on the team. That was
16. So another 16U team that's not a shoe team, but they're getting a lot of bugs. They have some talented kids. There's an RL9 16U. And so they actually played up in the 17U division and had a chance to play. I watched their game against Coos Elite 17U. They're white team, though. So, Coos has about 2 or 3 17U teams, and this is their white team. But this RL9 group, they have a kid, Ashton Scott, about 6'5", 6'6", goes to Klein Oak, sophomore. Really, really talented kind of wing kid, plays some guard. He played really well this game, man. He had 21 points at 8 rebounds. There's also a kid, Hudson Boyd at Lake Creek, about 6'2". He scored 12 points, knocked down 2 threes. And this group has 2 bigs, Jack Whitner, a 6'7", tight end, big-time tight end prospect, too, out of Cy-Fair High School. And they have the kid Ashton Smith at Nimitz, who's a problem, 6'8", 6'9", rebound athletic kid. And so, man, they have some nice pieces. They got out. They were only up by 4, but they ended up stretching out, ended up winning by 14 points. Coach DJ Anderson coached this group. And so last year they were under the the Disciples organization, or better known as TBT. So that TBT group merged with RL9, and so now they're called basically RL9 Academy.
Okay.
Really, really good.
And all four of those guys you just mentioned, which was Ashton, Scott, Hudson Boyd, Jack Whitner, and Ashton Smith. Those two Ashtons, they all playing on the same team. RL9.
All play with this RL9 group. Yep, they have a solid group, man.
So they got some good size. They have some really good size. With DJ at the helm, because he's been doing it for a long time. DJ Anderson, I know he's going to be able to put those guys in good situation. What's their guard play look like right now?
So the kid Ashton, he's a guard, and so is the kid Hudson Boyd. They're all they're both kind of bigger guards. And Ashton plays on the ball a lot too, and Hudson's more of a shooter, kind of two guard. But I mean, they have length all over the floor.
These are 2020s?
No, 2021s, sophomores. Yeah, the 16.
You say RL9, 16U.
Yeah, 16.
21 sophomores. So they got some good size with some guards. So they got a chance to be able to play at another level eventually.
Eventually. And so what I told DJ was I'm going to try to match them up with maybe this Hoops teams or JL3 in my upcoming event. Get ready to go live here next weekend, just to kind of, see what level they really are.
Okay. Make sure that we come back to that Get Ready to Go live event so we can talk about that. Let everybody know what's going to be going on this weekend and what's going to be where they should be at. Where it should be at. The happens going to be at. What about a couple other matchups? Give us some more matchups. That was you gave us a 15 and 16s right now. A couple more 15 and 16s. Anything?
So a second 16 game that was later on that Saturday was the Defenders 16s versus Team Harden 16s, and it was a heavyweight fight. It was standing room only on court 2. Both groups are really talented groups. The kid Kobe Haynes for Harden came off the bench, goes to Houston Christian, won a championship again this year. Came off the bench early, man, hit 3 threes in the first half, was a major kind of spark for that group. They got up. Harden got up about 10 points. The Defenders fought back. Harden was up at halftime, 34-31. The kid for the Defenders that played really well early on was a kid they called Gigi, but his name is Geronimo Hoyas. He's a 6'6" Colombian who played at Texas Christian this year, sophomore. He had 7 points, 4 assists in the first half, 3 rebounds. He's obviously a foreign kid, and he has a European feel to his game. Kind of face-up four-man, really skilled, can dribble, pass, and shoot.
Geronimo, okay.
Geronimo, you have to call him Gigi. He played really well in that first half, and he finished the game with 16 points, 7 boards of 3 assists. But the one thing that stood out in this game was Bryce Griggs and his ability to kind of get to the free throw line. And, obviously with him playing for Team Harden and being so close actually to James Harden, you can see his game is mimicked after James's game, from how he handles the ball, from how he really puts pressure on defenders and on referees to make calls for him because of his handle and his ability to get to the rim. So it's almost like either you're going to call his foul or he's going to score because of his handle and his ability to make shots and his offensive kind of ability. He can get any shot he wants, and he doesn't have much lift, but he's creative. And I said he does have a really high IQ and a really good handle, so he's able to kind of get to his spots. In this game, in the second half, Patrick Punch and Maddox Kopp really kept the defenders close. They combined for 5 threes in the second half. Maddox Kopp, his big brother Miller was at the game, so I'm sure it was a little more juice for him, but he played really well. He even tried to dunk on the kid in the second half. Got big rebounds, played tough. Patrick Punch from Eisenhower High School, I think he started in the corner a little bit. He knocked down 3 threes in this game. He was also big on the board, played with a lot of energy, high motor. I'm definitely excited to see his development, from where he's from. Obviously, my neighborhood, my neck of the woods, going to Eisenhower. It's always good for me to see kids like him well.
Patrick Punch, he's 20, he's 16 out this year.
Yeah, 2021.
Now during this game, who won this game overall?
So Harden ended up winning overtime, 79-76. Really close game. Yep.
79-76 Harden. How did Cam Crockett play this game? What was he like this game?
Well, Cam Crockett plays on the 15s.
Oh, that's right. 15 under. Okay.
Yep. Noah Khan in that second half, scored 10 points in the second half in overtime and tried to, put his team on his back, get that W, man. But at the end, it was just too much Griggs. And the kid we talked about earlier, man, Zai Ivory, he's so explosive in transition, man. He ended up putting them up 6 in overtime, and the defenders could never close that gap.
Tough deal. I'm all right with that. And this was a good game. This was for 2 1,600 teams in the city. Could this possibly be for your number one spot in your power rankings coming up?
Absolutely. Well, Hardin hadn't lost yet in these 2 events, so they're definitely number one. They've beaten everybody so far in the city. I'm not sure if they played that John Lucas group. I think they may have in the icebreaker. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look, but I know for sure they beat the Hoops, they beat the Defenders, and they beat BU. That's why I really want to match them up with RL9 here soon to kind of see, where they both stack up.
Okay. All right. I'd like to see that. Hopefully both of them can we can anticipate them being in your event coming up here?
Well, Hardin will be in my King of Spring event May 3rd through the 5th. And so will the JL3 Elite team. So we'll get a chance to see them at that event.
All right. Who's next on the agenda? What other players we got coming up? What other teams we have moving in there?
It's 2 games. So the 117U game I did not go to, but I got a bunch of calls and texts and screenshots and videos about where the Houston Defenders 17 versus Team Evolution. The Defenders won that game by 3, which is kind of surprising for a lot of people, but that Team Evolution team came out and they were up. They told me 13-2 to start the game, Lo. So for the Defenders, kind of a shock, but they end up stepping up and coming back and winning that game. But everyone was telling me it was kind of close, back and forth. Kids from Team Evolution making shots, knocking down shots. Chris Harris from Hightower played really well. Elijah Elliott, St. Thomas, had 22 points that game. He knocked down 3 threes against the Defenders, and definitely a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Okay. Look, before we go on this next one, make sure everybody's watching right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. But definitely give us a thumbs up on there. You see that thumbs up, tap that thumbs up for us. Hit that subscribe and share button so that your friends and count so we can grow the platform, let more people get an opportunity to be involved, to see some kids on here, players, hear about some previews and outcomes of past events. And also, like I said before, not only that, you get a chance, when Sloan on, you get a chance to hear about his power rankings. He got some power rankings that he's putting out for summer basketball teams. We've been doing this before, but he's coming out with them week by week, just like in college basketball, just like in NBA. Everything's updated frequently. So that says a whole lot. Continue to give these kids an opportunity to fight going in week in and week out. So do that for us. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you can hit the thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up so you can share this on the platform. We can continue to grow. Sloan, real quick, tell us about your event coming up to April 5th through 7th.
Yeah, April 5th through 7th. Get ready to go live. It is the 5th year we're doing this. Each year it gets bigger. We'll have a lot of talented teams there, shoot teams and independent teams from all over the state. A couple teams from Mississippi coming, Louisiana. Team as far as Colorado and Arkansas are coming. It's April 5th through the 7th. Get ready to go live. It's Ball Out Events. You can find the schedule. It'll probably be done by Wednesday. You go to balloutevents.com and find that schedule.
Okay. All right. And there you have it. Ball Out Events. So get ready to go live. Know where you can be at on that weekend of April 5th through 7th, 5th through 7th. Mm-hmm. So, and what side of town we're going to be on? We got any specific location? No, tell you what, Sloan, don't say that because we don't want nobody hating. We don't want nobody hating. Make sure that when the schedule come out, it's locked and loaded and they be where they need to be at. But I know that you're going to be having some very good matchups. And because of platforms like this, when we can get some kids inside the booth. I'm going to say, like I said, again, we started this platform obviously for, number one, to talk about some high school and summer basketball. But for primary guys, we started this to make sure we get some of these players inside the booth so we can find out who they are. Now that the high school basketball season is over, we got somebody else coming on this evening. We got a 2019 unsigned senior coming on this evening. We got some more guys coming on throughout the rest of the week. And that's what this is about, because we want you all to get a chance to find out who these kids are. When Sloan talks about some kids, or Ani or Brandon and eventually some of the other guys we get a chance to get into the platform, we want you to be able to click on to see who is this kid? What's he sound like? What's his personality like? How can I get in contact with him? And these are the guys who you reach out to. So that's the reason why we started this. I think it's great. We've had a lot of feedback from the college coaches sit back and say, look, I thought that's great how you be able to put those young men on there. We get a chance to hear what they got to say, find out a little bit about their personality, because, kids be tight a lot of times when you talk to them. They be nervous. So hopefully we'll get a chance to get them to open up some. Next up, Sloan, who we got?
Another game I saw was the Team Evolution versus the Fam Elite. So the Fam Elite is also getting a lot of pub, man. Those guys, Say-Pay and crew, they're getting a lot of love in the city, a lot of ink. They have a nice movement going. They played Team Evolution, a really, really close game. The kid Grayson Bueller from Memorial High School knocked down 3 big threes to pace them. Team Evolution was led by, again, Chris Harris, man. So, and the kid Chris Harris, he's a 2020 kid, a junior at Hightower. Last year, the year before, as a sophomore, he led that district in assists.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Bryce Griggs kind of came in this year and Rod came in, he kind of had to come off the bench. And it's a true testament to the kid because he didn't cry about it. He didn't complain. He just played his role, was kind of like the glue guy for his team, came off the bench, gave his team a lot of energy, a lot of toughness, and helped his team win some games. But now in the spring and the summer, he had a chance to obviously play more minutes and kind of get back to that alpha role, and he's doing a great job for Team Evolution.
Who's coaching Team Evolution? Who they comprise? Where they comprise? What players from what side of town?
So this group this team is from kids. They have kids all over the city. Mm-hmm. Ray Meach and Carter Randolph coaches this group. Ray Meach, he had the Hyperfuse, and Carter had Team Evolution, so they kind of combined to go, combine and call it Team Evolution. But on the schedule, the last 2 weekends, they've been under Hyperfuse, in case anyone's confused. So if you look on the apps or look on the schedule, Team Evolution is also known as Hyperfuse. But
okay, so Ray Meach also does a lot of writing with media with Vibe Sports as well.
Correct.
So Ray's he's in the gym all the time. Carter actually hit me while I was out there. He said, "Look here, Lo, we got to talk, man. There's a lot of things going on that we need to talk about." So eventually, we're gonna have to get Carter and his book of the Book of Carter. We got to get him inside the booth so we can talk about a lot of different. He has perspective on things that a lot of people we see some of the things, but his delivery is a little bit different, which is good, and it's kind of comedy as well, but it is good for the soul. If they say soup for the soul or whatever. So we got to get Carter inside the booth at some point as well. But we're gonna get that going. I'm looking forward to getting Ray Meach on here because Ray's kind of really low key and laid back. Yeah. When he puts something out there, he kind of makes you oh, okay, Ray's here. Okay.
Yeah.
What else? Who else we got, Sloan? What we talking about?
And so another game I went to, man, was kind of like some young boys. This 8th grade game between Basketball University and Team Hardin. And it's a kid on Basketball University's 14U team, Tyler Smith, who I've had the pleasure of being around since he was about 10 years old, and now he's 14. And, when I met him, he was about 5'7", average height kid. But he said, man, his dad is 6'10", and he's going to grow one day. Well, that day is here, man. That kid's about 6'6", really developed this game. Credit to Teddy Wheeler, who's had him the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Kind of let him expand, let him grow it, and let him make mistakes on the court. And now he's handling the ball and shooting threes, and he already had a high motor, but getting offensive rebounds and putbacks. Kid Tyler Smith, he goes to Hodges Bend Middle School. Not sure what high school he's going to. Has a couple options, but played really well, man. Like I said, handled the ball well, shot the ball. In this game against Hardin, he had about 18 points. And I looked on the thing and said he had 9 rebounds. So really impressed by his kids getting longer and longer, starting to improve. Montana Wheeler, Teddy's son, Savir's younger brother, point guard, really, really shifty. Has a lot of his brothers' kind of characteristics in this game, can get to his spots, really good on pick and roll reads, always makes the right basketball play, tries to pick up full court plays really hard. He's next in line with, the Wheeler legacy, lineage
Lineage, yeah.
Yeah, so they're a nice 2-1-2 point for that basketball university team.
Okay. And what about Harden? Harden had anybody that stood out that game, or was it a close game that BU kind of put some work on them?
Well, BU won 51-49. And Harden, again, it's kind of similar to what Kuz is doing. This is the first year James Harden's group has like young teams. So they're starting as young as 10U. And Greg Howell done a really good job, man, with trying, having tryouts and getting the visibility out of Team Harden. He and his staff, my guy Eric, also coaches the 17s. Like, they have done a really good job of getting their brand out there, and they branded to now where they have multiple groups, young groups. So this is their first year of having young groups like this. But going forward, I expect them to be, kind of have powerhouses here shortly.
Okay. Was that the only 14 10 you got a chance to see? 14 game you got a chance to see?
Well, the other 14U game I had a chance to see was the Defenders 14 playing up against the Wright Warriors. But so that 14 group was playing up in 15U. And they were playing Wright's Warriors, who has a kid named Charles Chuckle, who's about 6'8", probably about 230 pounds. He looks like a grown man out there. He's a freshman at Peyto High School. He had to play JV because he transferred, because he was supposed to go to Morton Ranch, but the mom ended up transferring him to Peyto, so he played JV this year. He's a big monster, strong kid, and I didn't think that Defenders 14U group had a chance, but they jumped out on them early, man. They have a 6'3" kid in the 8th grade from Beaumont named Traylon Portia, who's really, really tough, like a wing kid, lefty, really skilled. They have 2 good guards, Bryson Matthews and Ryan Hill. And they kind of got out and outran that Wright's team, and they were up by 12 at halftime. Wright's closed the gap to about 4. The kid, Brendan Mwamba, freshman at Dawson, point guard, about 6'2", 6'3", kind of brought them back. But that Defenders team ended up pulling away, man, and winning by 6 points. 14U group beat a solid 15U team.
Good. I know Brendan from Dawson, man. And
Yep. You coached him too.
Strong kid too. Now I'll say this: that was the only really 14 under game that you got to see in the 14 under division. I'm gonna give some shout outs myself.
Okay.
The Texas Pros 14U, who won the 14 under the main division, the primary division. They won it. Shout out to Wyatt, Brandon, Aiden, Jesse, and Jake. They won the whole weekend with 5 players. They had 6 players throughout the whole weekend. And then on Sunday, Jesse hurt his foot on Saturday. Sunday they came back, had to play 3 games with 5 players, won the whole division, championship division, the biggest of them all. So shout out to Texas Pro. Got to show some love to the guys. They did a great job, man. Coach Jason Boyker, man, he's doing a great job with those guys. You know Jason, y'all been knowing each other for a while. So I had to give my own shout out right there because that's a big thing right there. Anytime you can take guys with just 6 and win a championship, and then you get 5. On Sunday, you got to play 3 games in the I don't know if it was the gold bracket, the platinum bracket, the biggest bracket, and you only got 5 guys, no subs, and you win.
It's tough, man.
Tough. So we can move on from there. So, but Sloan, did you get a chance to? Who was I watching right there? Man, did you get a chance to see that 1600 championship, man, between the Houston Defenders and Yes to Success?
No, that was 15s. I did not.
Correct.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. So what happened? So again, same thing like this. 17 Defenders. I was watching the Defenders 16s play Harden 16s on court 2, but on court 1, that Yes it says PB Nation 15s were playing the Defenders 15s in the pool play, and that PB Nation team smacked the Defenders 15s. I looked up one time, it was 32-11. I was like, wow! It was a blowout, and so they ended up winning by 18 points. And so then they met in the championship, and the Defenders ended up winning in the championship. And win that gold bracket and beating that team that they lost to in the pool game on Saturday.
Yeah. How much was that championship game by?
That Defenders team, that final score was, I want to say they won by like 3 or 4 points, Lo.
Mm-hmm. But they came back and got that thing though.
Yep, they did.
The whole lot easier. They say if you're gonna lose in pool play.
Yep.
Because when it's one and done, one and out, you got to make it happen. You got to bring it home.
And they just didn't lose in pool play. They got smacked in pool play too. So, sometimes, man, like what happens, like when you get smacked, kind of wakes you up a little bit because that team hadn't lost yet. They had to finish 15. So when they beat them, as a matter of fact, they beat them in a pool play game. It was 58-38.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up losing the championship 51-48. So the defenders team end up, come back and win the championship game.
Okay. All right. Give us a couple more. Who else we looking at? What teams we need to be looking out for?
So I finally got a chance to watch Houston Raptors coached by Bobby Benjamin.
Bobby.
They have a really, really good backcourt, man, with Jordan Ivy Curry and DJ Stewart. They fit in. Those two guards fit really well together. DJ Stewart's a floor general. He kind of gets everybody involved, spreads it out. And Jordan Ivy Curry, who's a kid, man, who sometimes kind of gets overlooked because he's at Lamarck, but he's really talented on the same kind of level as Justin Hill and Elijah Elliott. He had 23 points this game, 4 for 5 from 3, kind of showed his range a little bit, made some plays, and like I said, he and DJ are really, really tough backcourt.
That's a winning backcourt. That's a really good backcourt right there.
Yeah.
And it's ironic. I was sitting back and I talked to Bobby after the game. I got a chance to see him and say hello. And then we go outside. I got a chance to see Jordan Ivy Curry sitting out there. And I looked up. He was sitting next to Dante Stiggers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I looked up. I said, Jordan. And he said, yeah. I said, he playing with y'all? Yeah, because I got a chance to see the end of the game. But I didn't get a chance to see Jordan put the work in. But one thing I sit back and I told Dante Stiggers, and I said, listen, man, y'all got a special one right here. This young fella. We already know DJ is real tough and heady. He's strong, competes hard, and he's going to make winning plays a long time. And then along with that, with Jordan Ivy Curry next to him, he's the ultimate competitor. He knows how to play, man. He plays hard,
Yeah.
And I look forward to him. I think you can win a lot of games with him. So it's going to be a lot of people excited to see that group this throughout the spring and the summer as well. So that's gonna be good. That's a tough matchup. That's a tough game.
Very, very, very tough backcourt.
That was a close game to the end. You said Raptors.
Yeah, Raptors beat Texas Male Elite. So Male Elite actually was up by 12 at halftime. And then Jordan Ivy Curry kind of went to work. But for Texas Male Elite, Adrian Caldwell, who just joined them this weekend, kid from Morton Ranch, 6'5", athlete from Morton Ranch, like the forward position. He had a really good game versus the Raptors. He had 24 points, 7 rebounds, all over the glass, super athletic kid.
Yeah, Caldwell. He gets that. Kind of puts you in the frame of a super athletic wide receiver or tight end.
I always tell people if he played tight end, I'm sure he'd probably make a lot of money playing football.
Absolutely. He's got some good hands, and he's got some. He can go upstairs and get that ball. He can go get that ball. Great body too. Great body. Dad's name is Adrian Caldwell. Played with the Rockets back in the days. And had a good stint in the NBA. So Adrian, he's a big guy. Everybody who know him, we call him AC. So big AC Caldwell, strong body. Son is Adrian Jr. More games. Couple more. How many more you got?
I got one more. The last game I saw was again the Defenders group. They played Urban ASAC 17s.
Urban ASAC.
And Urban ASAC, in the past, they've had Jamal Shed, obviously, and some more talented kids. But this year, with Jamal going to play for Drive Nation. Again, when you look at the team on paper and look at them warming up, it was one of those games where I thought the Defenders would run away with the game early on. It was that case at first, but that Urban ASAC team kind of fought hard. And the Defenders only ended up being up 33-28 at the half, but they ended up pulling away in the second half. Jalen White, who was at Sam Rayburn this year, played well for Defenders this game. Also, Big Eddie Lampkin played really well, had 18 points, 8 rebounds. And the thing about Eddie that's different in summer in the school is when Eddie's at school, he's with the Batman. L.J. Cryer is that group's Batman, and rightfully so. He's the guy lead the city in scoring, big time guy. But when he goes to the defenders, he kind of transforms and gets out of that Robin role and becomes more Batman. Eddie does, and so played really well his first couple of events this spring, and look forward to seeing a big spring and summer from Eddie.
I'm excited about Jalen White. I didn't get a chance to see him this past weekend. I know he played at Sam Rayburn, transferred over there, one of the clear schools, and he didn't get a chance to play throughout the whole year. He had to sit out a little bit, or for whatever reason, he didn't play this year. So it's interesting, and it's good to know that he's out playing the spring and the summer circuit with somebody right now. You say he's playing with the defender, so hopefully he's about 6'5" right now?
Yeah, about 6'4", 6'5". I call him like a young Rip Hamilton. Not super athletic, really good, smart basketball player, knows how to use screens, come off screens. Super fundamental kid, baseline killer, loves catching the ball on the baseline, hitting a three or taking 1-2 dribbles, pulling up. He's to me right now, in my opinion, Sun Belt level, Southland kid.
Okay.
Schools in that range are kind of inquiring about him, asking about him. So him having a good spring, good summer will definitely help his recruitment.
Good. That means if he's at that level right now, it means that's something hopefully he can be locked in on. He's definitely got room for growth. So, and with him being super good length on him right there and size on as far as the basketball stature is concerned, and he can shoot the ball. He's got a good clip on him. That's one of the things that he does very well. So hopefully he'll continue to grow with that. When your power rankings coming out?
Every Thursday. Power rankings will be every Thursday, 9 a.m. You go to otrexposure.com. It'll be right on the homepage every single Thursday, 9 a.m.
Every Thursday, 9 a.m. So hopefully we'll be hopefully every Thursday, probably about between 11 and 12:30, we can get you back into the booth so we can get some people to talk. We can talk about these power rankings that may shift from time to time, and people might want to, this could help with getting matchups. This could help with
for me, like that's what it's about. Like I grew up in a different era, man. Like back in the day, like I was the superstars, man. Like we wanted to play the hoops. Like that's it. We wanted to play Houston Select. We wanted to play Team Texas. Like we wanted those matchups because obviously we didn't have social media back then. And it's funny because if we did, I mean, there'd probably be a lot of trash talking going on like back and forth because like that's what we did. Like you mentioned a good friend of mine, Dante Stiggers, who played for the Houston Hoops. I wanted to play against Dante. Like that's all I wanted to see. I didn't want to see anybody else. No disrespect to other guys playing, but I wanted the matchup because I want to be one of the guys that people talk about. My team, we wanted to be the team that everyone talks about. Like, so for us, we needed those matchups. We created those matchups. So for me, I want to create that here in the city, like where guys want to play against each other, whether it's for bragging rights or whether it's to see if you're as good as you think you are. But for whatever reason, like we haven't had those matchups in the past. Like even matchups like having the hoops and defenders. Like when the last time they played?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how is that possible that the one team, 17U Under Armour team in the city and the one Nike team don't play each other during the spring or summer? That makes no sense.
Well, I agree with you, but I do know that on one side, one is always seems like he's always willing to play another group, maybe because their schedule doesn't permit it, but you got to find a way. But I agree with you. The top team should always be able to play each other. You got to get a city some kick and some fire in order to have an opportunity to follow these young men when they get ready to leave the city and leave the state. So you want to see that competitive spirit. So no, I agree with that. Now I'm excited about your power rankings that you've been putting out because I'm like, look, from week to week it can change. You got to give some kids some motivation, and sometimes because of the way we are right now, that might be something the motivation that they need. I don't know.
Yeah, right. And even if it's for the coaches, like I just had a conversation with John Urey. I was like, hey man, like you have to play in the city more. Like regardless of what happens in the past, man, you got kids that people want to see, whether it's their fault or not. People want to see those kids play in the city against other kids. So you have to play. I talked to Tim Schumacher, told him the same thing. Like Tim is all on board. He's the Hoops are playing in showcase games and playing in more times than Houston they have in the past. And it's always good for those teams to play in the city some. I'm not saying obviously they're going to play on the EYBL and on the Gauntlet or on the Under Armour Association circuit, but it's good to have these quote-unquote high-profile teams play these games.
Right, absolutely. Look, that's going to be a good deal. Let's kind of stay in the same book, but switch pages a little bit. I don't know if you done peeped it out recently, man, but just like right now in the news, they talking about this guy right here. This guy right here. Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is basically, it says he's cut ties with Big Baller Brand. He's not he's for some reason he had an issue with the guy that was working with him and was kind of handling his affairs of Alan Foster. And so
they stole some money from him.
Yeah, he say he stole some money, or he say $1.5 million is unaccounted for. And LeBron James says that he feels that Nike would welcome him in a heartbeat. But $1.5 million is unaccounted for, man. What's your thoughts on that?
If he was in the streets, it'd be smoke in the city for sure, man. I know dudes for 1,500, it'd be a problem. 1.5 million, it'd be another problem. I mean, it's one of those things where I think you touched on this before. It's like kind of owning your own masters a little bit. We have to be in control of our own situations, our own finances, our own. It's cool to partner with people, but it's cool to be out front, be in the media. But I think it's one of these things, Meritor. Whereas Lonzo Ball, I thought he did a great job marketing the Big Baller Brand.
Right, absolutely
innovative. At first I was like, man, why is he doing this? But then I understood, hey man, it's ownership. He wanted to own his own stuff, so I understood that. But now it's to the point where it's like $1.5 million is unaccounted for. Like, that's unacceptable, Lo. Like, in any business, anywhere in the world, that can't happen. So for him to want, thinking about, like LeBron said, Nike welcoming him, I'm sure they would welcome him. I'm sure Nike will welcome the dad too, just because it'll help build Nike's brand.
Right. And I'll tell you, something that just touched on me is one thing about why it's, first of all, even if it was $10, it's his money.
Yep.
It should be where it's at. Okay. Yep. Let's get that clear. If there's a difference in somebody that has made $95 million and they take 1.5 out, he's missing 1.5. There's a big difference in there right now. And at the same time, it's his money. He shouldn't be missing that at all, regardless of how much money you make. But he's under his rookie contract still. He's still under his rookie contract. So he's still only making and this is his second year. So he still hasn't made he hadn't made $5 million in the league yet after taxes and everything else combined, probably for these 2 years. So that 1.5 can still hurt you because obviously you're living off some other things. You're not, unless he's just living off of the interest. That's still not a whole lot. That's a whole lot of money that he's lost with that. So one thing I'll say is I've seen a lot on there, and this is my personal opinion. I don't really get into it a lot. I like y'all to share your things, but when they start talking about on certain networks about those are bad guys and the brand is terrible, this is that, those guys should have an opportunity to be able to make mistakes as well, to be able to fail a little bit as well, because most people get back up and get back on. So don't just throw the dog and the milk out together. You know how the baby and the milk out together. So, let's get it and move on. And now I'll share this because this came courtesy of my man BSO. He put this out there as a little statement on what they're looking at as far as what Lonzo was looking at. Where am I? Am I getting it right? I'm probably off base a little bit. I can't find it. But listen, we'll go past that. Now I'll tell you another thing from a basketball perspective, man. Tom Izzo last week had an altercation. So they say it was an altercation. I don't really look at it like that. He had a run-in with one of his players. What was his player name? Aaron Henry.
Yep, freshman.
Got in his grill as they came off the court, had some words with him. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Coming from a father who was really kind of hard on me and a mother who was tough on me, and I played for tough coaches, it's just coaching. Like, Izzo wasn't going to hit that kid, man. Like, he just coaching them hard, Lo. Like, not that, again, I know people want to say this generation is soft and the media is soft, but listen, man, like, that's how passionate coaches are. As a coach, I was like that too, man. Like I grabbed the kid a couple times. I had my fist balled up too. I'm trying to make my point across. I wanted to hit him, but I didn't. But I'm just coaching the kid hard. Like that's all Izzo was doing, man. He's coaching the kid hard. But the thing I like about Izzo is, man, like he allowed the kid to kind of go back and forth with him a little bit.
Right.
Like kind of like the Bob Huggins thing. Like, I've been in games where we're playing against Cincinnati with Bob Huggins, like Steve Logan, matter of fact. My freshman year, he and Bob Huggins had a full-out fight on the sideline. Bob was coaching him hard. It was a heat of the moment. Steve felt he was right. Bob is a coach. He feels he's always right. So, but I mean, he coaches those kids hard, and he allowed them to do that. And same thing with Izzo, man. It's just hard coaching. That's it.
Yeah, it's about accountability. You say a lot of times. Right now, this is a one and done moment when we get right here.
That's what he said, and he said that. He said, in one and done moments, it can't be my bads.
Mm-hmm.
What's a win or go home?
Yeah.
So your my bad could cost us our whole season.
Yeah.
And so
now I will point out a slight double standard right there is the fact that a lot of people come on and say, well, Izzo's okay. He said this is okay. Scott Van Pelt on ESPN had a good 2.5 minute segment where he talked about all of that. I thought he laid it out really great as far as like being too PC and raising kids to be soft and not giving them opportunity to make mistakes and not holding them accountable. I think Scott Van Pelt made a great segment on that. Now when it happened, something that crossed my mind was Sean Woods. When Sean Woods was I think he was at Morehead State at the time. Was he at Morehead? Where Sean was, used to play at Kentucky, and Sean got into the grill one of his players, man, on the sideline, and everybody all of a sudden just
pushed him. I remember that. Yeah.
Huh?
Gave like a little bump.
Yeah, they gave him a little bump. But everybody they were just furious. They was furious, and they got on Sean, and that wound up, he lost his job.
Yeah.
That man lost his job behind that. So what do you think is the difference now, or what's the difference between Izzo doing it and what Sean Woods did?
I think it's a couple things. I think Izzo's is his hue of his skin. I think his national championship. And I think because he's at Michigan State and he's been there and he's a Hall of Famer. Sean was just coaching those kids tough too. Same thing. Sean's at Morehead State. He was at Morehead State. He was at Michigan State. So it's a little bit of a double standard. I mean, if you look again, what Sean did, it was a little bump. You know how many times it happened in college basketball games? The coaches bump their kids all the time. They scream in their kids' face. They grab their kids all the time. What Izzo did was coaching them hard. Like I said, I mean, it's different situations, man. Izzo's a quote-unquote, he's a made guy, to call it, for lack of a better word, man. He has a national championship. He's at Michigan State. And he's a white, not going to call him privileged, but successful Hall of Fame basketball coach.
Right. I get that. Another thing that I could bring up is the fact that I mean, I don't know what to say. Well, he's in his position. He has his position. That's to be respected as well. But it's like you said, you got it. There's got to be room for. You got to be fair across the board. You got to be fair across the board. Does he get out pass because he's eventually a Hall of Fame coach? That doesn't negate the situation. Both of them were trying to win. Both of them were trying to hold kids accountable to trying to win. And then, even the kid said it. He said, man, my parents have done worse than me than that. He put his parents on the spot. He said, man, that ain't nothing, man. I can handle that. And people said, you come here knowing what you're about to get into.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought that was unique also. One other thing that I saw that Jamil Hill said, she put out a little statement right here. She says, matter of fact, we're going to go with this goes into something else. We'll kind of end it on this part right here, Sloan. I don't know if you see, but the head coach at UC Irvine, Russ Turner, he was calling a kid Louis King for the University of Oregon. He was calling him Louis Queen during the game.
Mm-hmm.
It hadn't really been a whole lot of talk about that, but he had a press conference. He talked about it in his press conference, talked about why he was doing it. Definitely didn't say he was sorry or he said he was going to do it. And I got some up. It's something from Jemele Hill, and I thought that was interesting what she said in regards to Russ Turner and Tom Izzo. What she said was basically, I covered Tom Izzo for 6 years and thought much of the criticism for Izzo was unwarranted. Said, but this, however, talking in regards to Russ Turner, is wild, unacceptable. He said, I've talked repeatedly about how coaches often resort to language that is anti-woman or homophobic to the point, and he says, like, ain't this it, chief, or something like that. But you have any thoughts on that as far as
calling during that game? I mean, he was talking back and forth to Louis King, and Louis King was talking back and forth to him. As a coach, I don't think you should, as an adult, as a college coach, I don't think you should talk to opposing player. We are human, Lo. I understand. I get it. It's been situations where I want to talk to high school kids back and forth, when I'm an adult. But in this situation, man, as a college coach in a tournament, I don't think you can talk to the kid like that. And you can't disrespect him by calling him Louis Queen. And then in the media press conference after the game, you can't be so dismissive and standoffish. Like, yeah, I called him Queen, like it's no big deal. Like, like Jemele Hill said, that's definitely unacceptable. Again, it's a part of the code. Maybe in the locker room, Lo, when there's no cameras, sure, you call coaches have definitely been anti-women, saying guys plays like women or another word for a woman or a woman's body part. All the time they say that.
Uh-huh.
You hear it all the time. But that's in the locker room amongst your team behind closed doors. Never should a coach in a press conference say, yes, I called him Queen instead of King. And not shy away from it. He almost laughed it off.
Yeah. So. I mean, I just, to sum it up for me, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I just think that, first of all, you only talk to your players.
Yeah.
You don't talk to the other opponent's players, or opposing team's players. The coach said that he was talking to his players. He wasn't talking to Louis. But you're referencing him out of his name, his family name. You're referencing him out of his family name. You're disrespecting his family name while he's there. And you're doing it intentionally to get under his skin. And that's the part that got me. And then you, like Jemele said, you calling him basically
a queen,
a female, basically call him a female and out of his government name. I'm not sure if a lot of coaches are going to touch that. I'm out of that part of it. But my thing is, like they said, there's been some college coaches that have responded on Twitter. And they said, listen, why are you even talking to the opponent's player?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And he's going to say, I was talking to my team, like he said, but we know what you were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
We know what you were doing. Well, look, man, I appreciate you taking the time out today to get inside the booth with me, man. It's always a pleasure. It's fun. It's good interacting like this. We're going to continue to get more guys in here at the same time so we can have a good conversation, talk about a lot of things that's going on currently with in the business of basketball, the state of basketball, and just players overall. Like I said, we about to jump on. We're going to get some more players on here. We're going to get some summer coaches on here as well. I had a chance to talk to Derek Shelby today with Drive Nation, man, 2022 class. They played this past weekend. He's excited about what they look like and where they're going, man. I'm looking forward to seeing them. They got a big old squad, man.
They got 2 6'10s, man. They have a 6'7 wing, a 6'4 wing, a 6'3 guard. They're loaded. They're arguably the best 15U team, man, in the country. They are the preseason favorite to win the EYB 15U for sure.
I get that. I can see that. Well, Sloan, again, man, we appreciate it. We're not gonna hold you any more longer than we took you. If there's any point in time you got anything else at any point during the day, sometime you might be like, Lo, we got to share this outside the booth. Make sure, let's get up in here. Let's send this out. We got to get on there. Let me know at any point in time. Like I said, now for everybody that's listening, make sure that y'all follow Sloan on Twitter. It's Marcus Sloan on Twitter. It's @BigSloan32, @BigSloan32. You want to go out and check out his power rankings for summer basketball, which I think are really dope. As week in and week out. It's at otrexposure.com. otrexposure.com. Listen, man, that's a unique thing. And as you heard him say earlier, he's trying to bring some competitive basketball back to the city. It's lovely. Sloan, we'll see you, man. I appreciate you tuning in and being inside the booth with us. We'll catch up with you maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, but we're going to get you back again real soon.
Okay, appreciate it, Lo.
All right. Look, again, what's that? Marcus Sloan, definitely building his platform. He's building his platform. He's building his brand. He's getting a chance to get out there. He's giving you guys plenty of names that hopefully that you'll eventually recognize and you'll be able to watch. So that when you go see these teams and these players play and these coaches coach, you know what you're looking at. You know who you're looking at. You'll be able to have a good feel on who these guys are and how good they are and how good they can be. Get a chance to see some of the better teams that you don't normally see. But sometimes, even though you don't see them when you go in there, you've heard about them already. Let me see a couple of these guys right here. So, and as I said before, not only that, we're going to get a lot of these guys inside the booth. We want to bring these guys inside the booth, put them on the mic and see if they can spit game. See what their game is like when they spit, okay? Give the coaches a chance to get to be it's like an informal situation where they'll be able to see who they are. Not just the coaches, but you as well. Hope you hit subscribe right there in front of you. Reach down, tap that button, hit subscribe. It's free. Takes nothing to do it. Hit the share button, please. Let your friends and family know that if they wasn't live with us today, they can tune in later on and watch it later on. They'll see it on your timeline, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, and all the different various platforms that when you hit share, you can share it on all of those. And give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Help us to grow the platform so people can hear about us and know what's going on. We're doing it for the kids. We're doing it for the city, the state, the country. It's all about it's about everybody giving a chance to show some support. And that's what we're doing right now. I do a lot of summer basketball myself. I'm having fun with it. It's great. At any point in time, if y'all have any questions for me, I talk about it too. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Inside Booth on Twitter, at Inside Booth. Tag us when you guys are playing. Tag us on some players so that when we see it, we'll retweet it. And it gives us an opportunity to understand, look, this is who we need to talk about. This is who we need to follow. And when we have certain guys in certain areas, we can ask those guys about that player and not just ask them about them and say, hey, man, we need to get this guy or this young lady inside the booth. I said, or lady too. Yeah, we got some girls up in here. Wouldn't you want to see some females up in here sometime? A lady won the dunk contest yesterday. A young lady won the McDonald's All-American dunk contest yesterday. There it is. That's happening. Look, for Marcus Sloan, I'm Marlon Lowe. Thanks for joining us inside the booth. Again, subscribe, hit the share button, the thumbs up button, get it popping. Follow us inside Twitter. Share some information with us on your favorite team, with your favorite players, and we keep it going. Enjoy your day. See you tomorrow. Oh, matter of fact, we might get an evening. Got a player coming on here this evening. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this. We out.